George here again. We're getting ready to leave Haiti. Hey, one of the great stories we had was about a little baby named Woodley. I'm going to let the folks that actually did it tell you the story. Go.
When we were in Norgas, I was looking out over the crowd that was waiting to be triaged or waiting for their vital signs, and saw a young lady holding what I thought was just a bath blanket in her hands. And something told me to go and investigate if there was a baby in there. And when I asked her if there was, she said yes, and I opened it up. There was a very, very tiny human being, which didn't look like he was moving. It didn't look like he was even breathing. So it turned out to be a 4-day-old baby, which had been fed nothing but water since birth because the mother was unable to feed it due to her mental status. And I ran and got Christy, who came and looked at the baby, who had a heart rate of 88, and then everything started. Christy can tell you what she did.
Well, the baby really wasn't moving. It was very flaccid. Like she said, the blood sugar was 26. Fontanelle was sunken, very poor respiration. So, you know, we immediately took the baby from the caretaker and proceeded to try to do oral rehydration because we didn't have the IV fluids or the cannula the size of this baby needed. And the baby surprisingly did suck. And we were able to hydrate with the oral rehydration solution. And then, you know, I was praying, what are we going to do with this baby? We can't just give it boiled water or rehydration solution for 24 hours until we could get back in the next day with formula. And there walked in the mother. And then I proceeded to ask June, we've got to get milk from this mother any way we can, and I'll let her tell that story.
The mother was very, at first I was a bit scared because she slapped my hand when I told her and demonstrated to her what we had to do. But then she was very cooperative, and we manually expressed the milk from her breasts, which were absolutely rock hard, and I'm sure she had not had any since the birth of the child. When her milk came in, I'm sure she hadn't anything except what dribbled out. So we expressed probably 2 or 3 ounces from both breasts first, and then as I gave it to Christy, and we started with a syringe, started feeding the baby the breast milk. The first couple squirts of the breast milk were absolutely horrific. So I was worried that they were going to be infected, but Christy said just get whatever you can.
And the baby did surprisingly take it, and the blood sugar was 34. The last time we checked, he was responding, opened his eyes before he left. And
tried to cry.
He tried to cry?
He was grasping. He was actually making a fist.
And then the next day,
Go on.
we went to Norgas again, going on to another village, and stopped with formula for the baby, and he was doing great. Strong heart rate of 120, and Fontanelle was full, and he was moving, opening his eyes, and hopefully this baby will have a chance.
We had instructed the caretaker to give the baby the breast milk and rehydration throughout the night, and she obviously had, because the baby was so starving.
Here's our 4-day-old baby, abandoned by the mother at birth. Apparently she's had a psychotic break. Came in floppy, lethargic, has had no oral intake since birth. Did a blood sugar, it's 24. We're getting some oral rehydration fluids in. Going to have to find someone to nurse the baby or get some infant formula.
So we'll just ORS her, we'll give her a couple packets of ORS, and as long as she can do that, then she should start breastfeeding.
Can you give me some more?
Yeah, we don't get many calories with the oral
Yes, I
rehydration
know.
fluid, it's just rehydration. Well, we found the mother. She won't nurse the baby, but we expressed a few ounces in milk, and now the baby's taking some, and blood sugar's coming up, a little more active and vigorous. I'm going to try to get some formula here and see who can take care of this little fella. There's the mother over there in the doorway. And June, June put her Vermont dairy farming heritage to use and expressed a couple ounces of milk from a psychotic mother.
I guess it was lucky that we were there for this baby, and we could really make an impact on life here.